I watched this video of these two guys breaking down. Well, I shouldn't say breaking down. It was kind of like them just. It was kind of scripted. It was definitely thought out. But anyway, that's talking about Back to the Future, and one of the dudes just like, what happens to the Marty in the altered timeline? And the guy's like, what the hell are you talking about? And he starts talking about like, well, because we know that Marty goes back in time, changes the timeline, and then we go back to the future, back to the present, and his parents now have money. Biff is kind of a pushover. The Marty from that timeline would be a different Marty than the Marty that we knew. So did Doc just send some random Marty off to his death type thing?
No. You're doing that thing. You're doing the time travel thing.
Exactly. This is kind of like them. I mean, obviously, it's kind of because what we believe for the Back to the Future is with the butterfly effect is that time is relative. That time is a straight line, and that if you go back and affect the past, it'll affect your future. Mm-hmm. As opposed to creating, alternate timelines that we now know is the multiverse. So it's just, I don't know. It was more of a fun, it was a fun watch. Never mind. You don't want to talk to me about it.
About time travel?
Nope.
Not really, no.
Well then.
This is Tommy?
This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.
Hello, everyone.
And good night.
Good morning. This is TJ's Mixtape. I'm Tommy. That's Jacob. We are a movie review podcast. We talk about movies. We talk about who made them, who's in them, kind of go over some of the ideas of the movie and the themes, and then we give it a rating, whether we liked it or not. And that is arbitrary and doesn't matter. If you liked it and we didn't, that's cool.
Sometimes when you do this intro, it almost sounds like, and welcome to Coffee Time with Tommy and Jacob, where we just like to sit here and casually discuss movies.
I think my favorite Parks and Rec ongoing bit is the jazz radio station.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's a really fun one.
But they're... Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of...
No, you're thinking of...
Whatever in the douche.
Something in the douche.
Yeah.
What? Ira in the douche.
Yeah.
Douche Nation. No, the jazz club. And then, today we'll be playing this song as well as this song simultaneously, and then two different jazz songs come on, and it's horrendous. And then,
that sounds horrendous.
And the radio is just like, our studies show that our listeners like jazz. It's like, yeah, you're the jazz.
You're the jazz station.
That makes sense.
Well, before we get into today's movie.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play the game.
Do we just want to stop? You like every time.
I just forget about it. You can try and help remind me to get it back into my habits. It's just not my habits.
I mean, even still, it's like as we're like, I feel like we've been doing this like altered script long enough that you just be like, and before the movie, this thing.
Yeah, it hasn't been long enough.
And then you just seem very disinterested.
Because I never do it. I don't play it because I forget to play it. So it's a game I'm not even playing. So, I mean, I started and.
What if you wrote the actors at the top of your next page? Instead of at the bottom
that would mess up my whole thingy. The whole format. I could write a note at the top and remember to play game. I'll do that.
Okay. Well, I played it two different ways this week. I shouldn't say that. I mistook an actress. So what ended up being chosen last week was Anna Kendrick to Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
When I looked at my notes, I saw Jennifer and my brain went to Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh.
So I have both.
Well, we said Jennifer Connelly last week.
Yes.
So
the Jennifer Connelly one is really easy, though.
What is the Jennifer Connelly one?
It's Anna Kendrick is in Scott Pilgrim versus the World with Brandon Routh. because we just did Dylan Dog.
Oh.
Jeez.
None
of my jokes are landing today.
Because I'm also putting them in as you're doing it.
Brandon Routh and Zach and Miri make a porno with Justin Long, which I made a joke about last week, and that didn't land. And then Justin Long is in He's Just Not That Into You with Jennifer Connelly. So you were right last week when you said, I don't know if you said this on air or not, but you're like, I think He's Just Not That Into You is going to be
the common. Yeah.
But I mean, when you have a big ensemble cast like that, then yeah, that's your meat and bones right there, you know?
Well, because
that's the main course.
For Anna Kendrick, I put Woman of the Hour, and for Jennifer Connelly, I put He's Just Not That Into You. Because I was like, Anna Kendrick, Woman of the Hour is pretty recent.
Don't even know what that is.
Woman of the Hour?
That's the one with
her movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she directed.
But there's not a lot of big names in that, is there?
No, but I was just like something recent.
Yeah,
and then there's so many people, and He's Just Not That Into You. I thought maybe... Because there's other women you meet in that movie that were by the serial killer. So
I do want to do my Anna Kendrick to Jennifer Coolidge because I think it's fun.
Okay.
So Anna Kendrick is in Pitch Perfect with Brittany Snow. Are you doing Jennifer Coolidge?
No.
Brittany Snow is in X with Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega is in the new Death of a Unicorn movie, which I really want to see, and I think is getting panned really bad as well. With Paul Rudd, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rudd is in Overnight Delivery with Reese Witherspoon, which is a 90s rom-com movie. Mm-hmm. And Reese Witherspoon is in Legally Blonde with Jennifer Coolidge.
I don't remember Jennifer Coolidge being in Legally Blonde.
She's the salon, her like older friend that like does her hair, does the salon. She's the one that she teaches the snap and bend to.
I guess I don't remember Legally Blonde.
I guess you don't. Wow.
Because everything you're saying, I'm just replacing her with Cinderella Story.
Jennifer Coolidge is in Cinderella Story?
Yeah, she's the evil stepmom.
She is. I haven't really seen that movie.
No, really?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. For 2000 teeny bopper shit.
I mean, it's a Cinderella story.
Yeah, and Jennifer Coolidge is the evil stepmom.
Who plays the Cinderella?
Hilary Duff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But she's a pretty great casting for... Because, you know,
Jennifer Coolidge is great.
Yeah, but is that like really like vapid?
You would really like Jennifer Coolidge in the first season of White Lotus.
Really? That's another one I'm not interested in.
Just the show?
Yeah.
You haven't even given it a chance.
No, but everything... Okay.
Yeah. You don't know anything about it.
So, but you're telling me you never look at a trailer or something and go, I'm not really interested in this. The trailer is selling you the thing. They didn't sell it. I don't want to buy it.
I don't know. I mean, that trailer doesn't really deter me most of the time. If I think the trailer looks bad, then I want to see if it's different than the trailer.
But we're different people. I know. That doesn't... I don't know. It doesn't seem interesting to me. I'm not interested in the slightest. And everyone's like, it's so good. And like I told you last night, and I asked people, what is it about? And no one can give me a really like definitive...
I gave you the most definitive answer.
I'm not talking about you. If I was talking about you, I wouldn't have said it to you. But I don't get it. And I don't care. What was that other show? I keep confusing White Lotus with that show...
Succession?
No, I do want to watch that. That seems interesting. And now that it's like it's one of those shows that's been out for a really long time and is really popular and nothing is ruined about it, which I'm like...
same here.
Really surprised by.
And it's ended. It's done.
It's done. Exactly. I know nothing about it still. But never mind. I'm not even going to go...
I'm trying to think about what it's... I think it's in my brain, I think I know.
There's another show about a couple. They get a house somewhere in L.A. and shit gets weird with their neighbors and stuff. I know that's really vague. But it's Ray Romano's brother from Everybody Loves Raymond. I remember him being the husband. Nope.
What movie are we doing today? I'm going
I don't even think... Now I'm thinking, no, I said it out loud. I don't even think it's him. I think it's someone else. It's someone else. It is. It's someone else. They're just both really tall, like New Yorker types.
Oh, my God. Okay, we're 10 minutes into this. We need to get into the movie.
Who the fuck is that?
I know it's going to bother you the entire episode.
Yeah, that's going to come to me. Like, oh, it's the guy from... Hi, yeah. So, welcome back. We are doing another movie review today.
Supernatural Detective.
Yeah, we are doing one of my favorite of this kind of genre, Odd Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
which another, if you know, you know. If you've never heard of it, thank you for listening.
I mean, it was a refreshing rewatch because I don't think I actually had watched it all the way through before.
Well, since that,
I knew the ending.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
I still really enjoy it.
I mean, I don't think there's anything groundbreaking about it.
Once you know it's a book, it makes more sense.
I guess, yeah.
Like the pacing and the writing because of that. What a twist. What a twist.
Fair, yeah.
In a book, those twists and turns would have been more like felt more thought out and methodical and actually
because there's a build up, like a length between it as opposed to like huzzah, hoodah, whoo. You're like, all right, fucking M. Night, calm down.
Your head starts spinning. You're like, there's a third, and you're like, okay, got it. But and then even the ending too, the actual ending leading into another story. I was like, oh, okay, it's all a book. Series of like 8 books. I
did read that one of the main reasons that there weren't sequels to this.
Yeah, I mean, I figured.
Yeah.
Well,
what is Odd Thomas about other than...
A young man who sees spirits uncovers a sinister plot to commit a mass murder.
It's like The Sixth Sense in an alternate universe.
Yeah. He sees...
he sees dead people.
He sees dead people and he's a Terminator, basically.
Yeah, right.
Dude could take a beating.
Well, this came out... it was officially theatrically released February 28th, 2014, but it came out in the River Bend Film Festival April 6th, 2013.
And had wrapped in 2011.
Yeah, so...
There was a lot of legality about
distribution. Advertising. It was advertising, yeah, which I think that was the biggest downfall of this movie not really being known. So, like, if you really don't know this movie, because it has the recipe, everything to be a box office hit, really, especially for 2013, 2014. Like, a lot of people would have eaten this up, you know? But there was a bunch of disputes between, like, a budget of advertisement and then something that was supposed to, like, go with like overhead of loans or something. And because I don't think that I ever saw a trailer for this movie. How did you discover this movie? Was it just streaming randomly?
Yeah, I think it was just streaming somewhere one day, and I was just like, okay.
I like this guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot, and I like this kind of action supernatural thing with a little bit of horror in it. I like that a lot. Like really PG horror movie thing. Because I was watching it and I was like, a lot of the scenes, if you just change the music, this would be like
a little more terrifying.
A little more terrifying. But since it's an action movie, it's got this like pep in its step. But yeah, I remember that. I think I was just sitting there one day and I was just looking at stuff and I saw him and I was like, oh, this is before he had passed. Because he passed in 2016? Yeah, because it was a couple years before he passed. And I just went, oh yeah, I like this guy. And then I watched this and I was like, oh, this is totally my fucking bag. I love this kind of shit.
My bag, it's in.
Yeah, like I love that kind of like, I'm trying to think of another. Like well, funny enough, The Mummy, like that kind of thing. Like The Mummy has a lot of horror elements to it, as we were talking about. But it's an action movie.
Well, let's get into the meat of this. This was originally based... the movie is based off a book written by Dean Koontz.
Under the same name of Odd Thomas. Dean Koontz is a well-known American novelist, author, who is known for thriller stuff with a hint of supernatural, sci-fi, fantasy kind of stuff to it.
He's had 17 movie adaptations.
Yeah. Yeah,
some of those
you'll find him at the book aisle in the grocery store.
Yeah.
When I went to the grocery store last night, I saw 2 of his books.
Nice. Yeah,
which I thought was funny. I was like, I was like, where do I always see him?
What is it called? It's an airplane book or no?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's like a book that you pick up at the airport.
I got to be on there for 6 hours because I'll read a book,
or just stare at the back of a seat,
or I'm gonna buy this book and not read it.
Yeah.
Which is
fall asleep instead.
Yeah.
Gotta have options, though.
Gotta have the options. You need the appearance of free will.
Right. I mean, I counted 17 movie adaptations, but a handful of those are either like sequels to like one called The Watcher or just called Watchers and so forth. So it's like I don't think 17 of his novels have not been adapted.
Well, is it also like loosely or based on characters?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he has 105 published works.
That's insane.
It's a lot. And from what I was reading, that's even under his name, not all of his other pen names.
And he has like fucking 20 pen names. It looks like an absurd amount of pen names. He's got to have a ghostwriter.
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, he's only been writing since 1968. Well, publishing
only.
That on average is more than one book a year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. Maybe Dean Koontz doesn't exist. And it's just...
Oh, I just like when you said he's only been writing since 1968, and I laughed because I was like, that's a long time ago. I was like, wait a minute. He started writing at the end of the Civil Rights Movement. So that's how long ago?
In the 1960s?
Yeah, that's how long he's been writing for. You're like... He's been writing a long time. He's like 70-something. He's 70-something. 74?
Oh, wow. I would have actually guessed older.
Yeah.
But we're not just focusing on Dean Koontz. There's also a writer and director of this screenplay.
Who we've talked about before.
Who we have talked about. And I will say, there is a note when Dean Koontz read the screenplay for this, he was actually absolutely like...
Delighted.
Yeah. He loved it. He's
Yeah.
like, they see my vision. I love it. And it is Stephen Sommers.
Who we did in episode 124 of The Mummy. That's why I laughed when I mentioned The Mummy.
Mummy. Who has also done like Van Helsing, which we'll come back around to that a little bit. And 1994's Jungle Book. And I want to say Deep Rising because I want to watch that movie.
And he's doing something coming up called When Worlds Collide.
This is what it's like. When worlds collide.
A planet is crashing into our planet.
Oh, you ready for the...
It's like which is weird. It's like an end of the world movie for him. Him doing an end of the world movie like that, like a disaster movie, is weird to me. For his...
No, not me.
His past stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like end of the world guys do end of the... that's like their thing.
Oh, who was the guy? Who was the guy that we did? We did disaster movies, didn't we? There was one guy that apparently...
Did we?
Yeah, we did one. We talked about this. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it.
But yeah, let's go into starring.
Yes. So Odd Thomas is the name of our main character. Is not a person named Thomas who is odd. His name is Odd Thomas.
But maybe he was supposed to be named Todd.
Was played by Anton Yelchin, who passed away pretty tragically in 2016.
Yeah,
it was pretty wild.
Freak accident, like a literal freak accident.
There was a model of cheap Cherokee that had an issue with the gear shift, and basically he got pinned up against his car and his wall, and his friends found him when he didn't show up for rehearsal.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. And he was very young. He was born in 1989, and then he passed away in 2016. I remember that was actually one of those like Heath Ledgers to me. I was really like taken aback by it because he was just...
It was sudden.
Well, he was so sudden and he was so young and he was really picking up speed, especially with like Star Trek and, I kind of like, and then while we were watching this, I was kind of like, oh, this was Tom Holland before Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He has this quality to him where he's kind of goofy, but he's
charming.
But he's really charming, and you really find yourself rooting for him because he is this kind of unopposing, smaller guy that, like in this, he's just charming dude that can beat the living shit out of you, which is kind of cool. But I remember being really like taken aback when he passed away because also I think I personally as like a fan, I guess, started picking up momentum with him because I had watched this a couple years earlier. I was like, oh, this is cool. I love this guy. And then he became one of my guys. I was like, oh, I want to watch his stuff and see what he's in, and then he died.
Have you seen Green Room?
Fucking love Green Room.
So tense.
Dude.
So good.
Dude. If y'all haven't seen Green Room and you're looking for a tense-ass thriller that shows just how monstrous humans can be in just the world, it's not like there's the excuse of, well, the apocalypse happened and it's eat or be eaten. No, these are just
Nazis
running around. God, Green Room's a great fucking movie. That is a tense-ass thriller.
I have a friend that do tours with this band, and when he said he watched it, it was one of the most terrifying movies that he'd seen because of the sketchy-ass places like
that he's played at.
Yeah. And he's like, it could have, like...
Yeah, like Green Room has a 7.0.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I'm like, not even just sitting here going, it's pretty good. No, it's like, if you're looking for a violent thriller, that one's Patrick Stewart.
It'll take you for a ride.
Yeah. And fucking Patrick Stewart is terrifying, which is weird too, because you never see him really like that.
Yeah.
So him being the bad guy in it, you're like, God damn. Like, God, that's a great movie.
I got introduced with Anton Yelchin through Alpha Dog. That's one of his earlier films, too.
I was trying to remember. He's the kid that gets kidnapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What a fucking bummer, that movie.
That's a great movie, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember it being... I don't know. Maybe it was just over my head at the time when I watched it. Because I watched it when it came out. So
I mean, it's definitely... It probably hasn't aged super well, but, like... Yeah. I should rewatch it, honestly. But I remember liking it quite a bit. It has Justin Timberlake and...
No, I just remembered my introduction to him. And still one of my favorite coming-of-age movies, Charlie Bartlett.
Yep.
I just remembered that one. Charlie Bartlett.
Selling prescription drugs.
And he is funny in that movie.
Yeah, he is.
And that was actually, that was
Robert De Niro.
When he, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
When he started making his comeback. Mm-hmm. That was one of these weird little movies that are like, oh shit, you're still alive? You know?
You're not in jail anymore?
Yeah, like, wow, good for you.
It looks good without Coke.
Yeah, like, look, it's good, put on a little weight. Like,
all right, let's move on. I got our or girlfriend, I should say, next. Addison Timlin, who really, after looking her up and then like seeing stills of her from other things, the only thing I really recognized her from was in Californication, the television show with David Duchovny. And there's an episode of American Horror Stories that she's in. And it's probably one of the more disturbing episodes of American Horror Stories. Just the gross.
What is it?
Milkmaids. It's the one that's set in like late 1800s or whatever. And the women are feeding men their pus. It's gross. It's a really gross one.
Yeah, nothing really stuck out to me for her. But who'd you have next?
I got Willem Dafoe.
Good old Willem Dafoe, always coming in.
I just wrote 154 acting credits.
He's Willem fucking Dafoe.
Yep. He's in a lot of things.
He was the villain, and he's lived long enough to see himself become the hero. I was just thinking about Nosferatu.
He's come full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Been
the
hero,
villain,
the villain,
back to
the hero, the villain, to hero.
When was the last time he was a villain?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, last time. I don't know. Like, is he the villain in Lighthouse?
I was gonna say Lighthouse, maybe.
I mean,
they're both kind of villain.
The villain, yeah. And there's this other people. Did you really have any other?
I mean, shout out to Patton Oswalt, obviously.
Arnold Vosloo,
who has a cameo. Who he plays
the
Imhotep. Yeah. Gugu Mbatha-Raw, who's Viola, the best friend of Stormy. She's in the first season of Loki as one of the reverend, or so, judge, one of the judges. She's like one of the main like antagonists to Loki in it, trying to hunt him down, of the Time Police.
I'm trying to remember that character. Loki.
Yes.
Time Police.
Season 1.
I don't know. I guess I don't really.
Can you even remember the premise of season 1?
Not really. No.
There we go. That's the answer. I was like, I think I know why we're not getting there.
I remember the end of it with the thing.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so that's... Oh, wait. No, I also have Shuler Hensley, really quick, who plays Fungus Bob, because he was Frankenstein's monster in Van Helsing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Van Helsing. I like that movie.
It's
Maybe not
wild.
Maybe not anymore. What next?
I guess we're ready to go into reviews.
All right, well, give us our scores while I pull them up.
I feel like I can't get my microphone in a good spot right now.
So what?
I feel like I can't get my microphone in a good spot right now.
I can't either.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, I've been trying to like kind of casually move
Just
it down.
pull it
here.
up a little bit. Is that better for you? Jesus.
Sorry. I apologize.
So we got for our scores on IMDb, this has got a 6.8. And then this was a wild one. Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 37% tomato meter. Critics tore it apart. And a 65% popcorn meter.
Why is that
And
wild?
I think I see why, though. I think I get it. This is definitely more of a audiences can forgive what it is just because of the fun ride, while critics are probably like, this is just everything else right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, on Metacritic, this has a 45,
Yeah.
coming to mixed or average, with 1 positive, 8 mixed, and 2 negative.
Mm-hmm.
For the 1 positive, with a 75 by Drew Taylor at the playlist. Odd Thomas is a much better film than its non-release would suggest. Hopefully one day it'll find its audience and people will appreciate it for something other than just being better than Phantoms. Another Dean
Koontz. Yeah. You all right? Sneeze? Hiccup? You want to hold?
No.
Okay.
And then I wrote down 2 for mixed, with a 60 at Village Voice by Pete van der Heer. Sommers' script relies on rapid-fire banter between Odd girlfriend Stormy. Yes, that's her. Oh, it says Odd girlfriend Stormy, and then her name Addison Timlin. Yes, that's her real name. And Chief Porter, but occasionally feels forced. So why do you keep doing that? Stop it. My computer keeps trying to update. Sorry. And I keep saying no, and it keeps going, but are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. But yeah, so Pete was just saying about how the banter between the 3 main characters that interact the most is this rapid fire banter, but it doesn't feel entirely
Honest.
genuine.
Yeah.
And I
agree with that.
agree with that. It does feel very like thank you. Yeah. See what we did there?
Clever.
And you get used to it. Like it just becomes part of the world. And but like the first interaction with Odd and Stormy is fucking painful.
Because
they're so cute.
Because they're establishing it.
Yeah, as they're establishing.
They're young and in love, and she's
quirky, and he likes her cake first. And he's also quirky because he sees dead people.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And you're just kind of sitting there, and you're like,
okay,
we got it.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. And yeah, I mean, so it is really kind of jarring to get used to it, but as you sit in it, it does become cute. You know? Like
it's kind of like a weird itch that's kind of there that you just kind of keep rubbing at, but it's not really doing anything bad.
Yeah, okay. I agreed with you, and then it fully just registered what you said.
I didn't really think about it that way.
It's like when you got a rash and you just ignore it because it's not that bad. No, like the scene where they're talking about, you know, they want to move in, or she wants to move in with him, and he's going to help their financial situation. And she says something about having big plans and other than selling tires, and he says shoes. She's like, shoes, and he's like, yeah, shoes. You know, think about it. A family of 4 or 5 will only have 4 tires. But a family of 5 is going to have 10 pairs of shoes, and you need different shoes. You need dress shoes, sneakers, you know, like there's this like one moment on that the Belfry thing, and I remember just going, okay, now it's cute. Mm-hmm. Like this, it has now finally evolved into this is just how they communicate, and you know,
one of them was their whole banter of adorable. How he's like, you look adorable in that. She's like, adorable? Puppies are adorable. Blah blah blah. And then later on, she calls him adorable,
and it's
the exact same.
It's one of their quirky jokes.
Yeah.
It's one of their couple, and that's the thing too. It's like if you're in it's like really ugh. But then if you really, and this is to every listener too, and really think about it. Think about someone that you had a really like either a first love or a really deep love to it, and think about how much of a fucking idiot you two were together, because that's the benefit of it, is you get to be goofy and weird, and the person meets you there, So you kind of sit there and you're kind of like, this is stupid, and you're like, young couples are stupid, like.
Well, I think the endearing thing is if you can continue that through an entire
relationship.
lifelong relationship.
Yeah. So it's like there is this kind of it's a hard pill to swallow, but you kind of do sit there.
It's like watching someone's. How am I going to make this comparison?
Is that garage man?
It's like watching somebody itch something that you don't.
Oh, I was like, are you serious right now?
No, it's kind of just like, I don't know. I don't know how to make a comparison, but it's weirdly just kind of like watching somebody's like
today, Junior.
Shut up! I'm getting there.
Another mixed with a 58 at the AV Club. Oh shit. Okay. Ignatiy Vishnevetsky. Vishnevetsky. Good name, hard to say. Odd Thomas is at its best when it's presenting rather than commenting upon or explaining juxtapositions of the wholesome and the supernatural.
Wait, what? You lost it. There was something right before the juxtapositions of the wholesome and the supernatural.
Odd Thomas is at its best when it's presenting.
Okay.
Rather than commenting upon or explaining the juxtapositions of the wholesome and the supernatural. So when it's acting it out, it's good. It lives well. But when you have the explaining, like Odd Thomas, stupid noir narration thing. That's how at least I took it.
I see what they're saying. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have any more reviews? Like it's
just the negative at the end.
Okay, cool. I just one little quick thought to that one is that I feel that this movie does live in. It's truly like you bring it up a lot. It's like you either like it or you don't.
Yes.
And
I think this is one of those.
And because of just like the identity of it, and I feel like maybe a lot of movies of this time era as well is kind of like that as well.
What the 2011s to
late 2000s,
yeah.
Early 2010s,
yeah, in there.
Well,
because that's even the thing too. Is like with the delayed release, this is a 2011 movie.
Yeah,
and it's a different. Even right from 2011 2013 is different. Mm-hmm. You can really see it. Like hold up two movies and you're like, okay. And this does have that 2011 thing.
This is like that, and I'll bring it up maybe later. Well, again, this film, it has a lot of reminiscence of its like pacing and quirkiness of like Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
Just the Panic Pixie Dream Girl feel of Stormy, the quirkiness of Odd Thomas, his heroism of it is a little bit more natural, I feel, in this. But it's just like there's a vibe of just like the way that it carries itself is similar to it. And it's kind of like in this time, in this era, it's like this is like alternative indie music,
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of stuck on the Scott Pilgrim thing. Because it's like my first initial reaction is like it's not, but then
because it's not,
but then it is
exactly. It's like the quick editing of the zip. Ooh,
yeah, like it's this.
It's like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, it's like this organized chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fast pace, like chip.
It's like a good example is like when Stormy slides the milk down the bar
to the chief,
and it's like the way that it's shot is that it looks like it's sped up, but not at the same exact time. It's like kind of like choppy and like ooh fun. Ooh,
well, yeah, because even then it's odd, and he makes the milkshake thing, and it's falls,
and it's quick, and it's quick editing.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so that's. Yeah, and so there is this kind of charm to this world, and it's kind of like, it's the Nathan Drake thing. It's like Odd Thomas's power seems to be luck. It's not even really the well, because that whole thing in
I never thought about that for Uncharted, but yeah.
well, yeah, the developers came out, like, if you do like the God mode or whatever, you can see that all the bullets are actually missing Nathan. And so when he starts to get hit, it's not that, it's near misses, and the window's getting smaller and smaller.
And so his luck is running out.
Because his luck is running out. And so if you actually slow it down, you look, you'll see the bullets are just around him. And that's kind of what it felt like with Thomas, is that he just was really fucking lucky, because a lot of this shit really, like, when the fridge comes out, and I was like, well, good thing there was a closet there, because he would have been embedded in the fucking wall.
It was foreshadowing.
Our negative review by Sarah Stewart, who gave it a 25 at the New York Post. Yelchin is immensely likable actor who does what he can, but his charm isn't enough to save this awkwardly worded and paced wannabe thriller. So funny that they mentioned the paced thing, because we were just talking about that. But it's like opposite of what Sarah says. It's like it fit. I thought it fit for the world.
But is she talking about the pacing of like the story beats?
Oh, maybe. I mean, kind of what we were saying earlier too. It's like with the book, it makes more sense. But when you're in a movie, an hour and 40 long minute movie, you're getting a lot of it really fast, especially at the end there when they're trying to wrap it up. Yeah,
because there's the pacing between the overall narrative and then like a pace of a scene.
Yeah, and I guess the awkwardly worded and paced, since they're talking about the wording, I would assume that means the writing of the story.
Yeah,
but yeah,
are those? Is that?
Yeah, that was all. Yeah,
because there's like one of the things that bothered me, and then it kind of see they do a weird thing to fix it, I guess, at the end, is you start like it's unveiled. Odd Thomas realizes that Fungus Bob has been dead. He's he's a detective. He's a detective catching up, but eventually getting ahead of the curve. Unlike Dylan Dog last week, that was
he was just fumbling.
Yeah,
fucking A, dude. Can you catch the goddamn ball?
Odd Thomas, he's realizing, like, wait a second, she never saw Fungus Bob, only I did. It was his spirit coming after me. But then when you see the spirit later, then he has the bullet wound in his chest. But when they cut back and show him marching or at the church, he doesn't have the bullet wound in his chest. And then it kind of starts to show later on that, these ghosts, they can change their appearance as well. So I was kind of like, that's a weird incontinuity, but then they fix it, quote unquote. But it would have been cool for there to be just kind of like a hint of like that bullet wound on his chest. Like little things to kind of like hint that so you rewatch it, you're like, oh, it was there the entire time.
Yeah, but it's and that's kind of something I like.
And there's a lot of things of this movie that do that. Like there's when Odd Thomas is at the house and for the first time with the Rottweilers, and he climbs up onto the roof. I said this, is like you just see the person like come out, he fires a gun, he's like, one of these days I can't wait to kill you dogs or whatever, but you don't see his face, so you assume that it's Fungus Bob back, but you never get the
guarantee.
Yeah, I guess so.
Confirmation. Yeah, I was like, we'll get there. We'll get the word. There's a word for this.
You never get that confirmation, and then as it just like revealed, I just realized another actor that is in this that we didn't bring up. Hold on a second. Nico Tortorella, the cop kid.
Oh yeah,
because I remembered him from.
Yeah, did you figure that out?
Yeah, Walking Dead: World Beyond that you never watched.
Oh, okay.
And he's also in that other Kevin Bacon show.
Is he adult Coral?
He
could play adult Coral.
Yeah, a little bit. And he looks exactly like, to me, the comedian Zoltan Kazaz. But, so, yeah, we have... It's just like the reveal of, like, all of the bad guys in this. It's weirdly repetitive and just kind of like, but not super distracting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They did it. They did a bad thing well.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it because, like, on paper, especially doing this podcast and everything, this should be like these critics more of an issue. But it's like
do a twist. What a twist!
But it's like they did such a good job of the world building, and they made it aesthetically so fun to watch that I personally just forgive it for a lot of these flaws.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it's like, and you know, to me it is The Mummy. It is that kind of old 90s.
Its humor exists there.
Golden age of action comedy things. These weird. There's only a handful of these weird trifecta hybrids that exist and do it really well, and The Mummy is a perfect example. This one is getting pretty close between the action, the horror, and the comedy, because it is pretty funny, and it also borderlines on beating it over the head. Mm-hmm. But it's still like the rule of three thing, you know, like Willem Dafoe Porter is on his date, and every time that luck again, I guess, or unlucky, every time Odd calls him, it looks like they were just in the middle of
canoodling,
you know, like first on the bed and then on the couch and then in the kitchen, and they're like sharing whipped cream and stuff, and you're like, oh, so every time Odd calls, it's right when they're about to get the deed done, and then at the end of it, he finally, I really do wish he would have changed the line, but maybe it's in the book, but he's like, I swear to God, Odd, if that's you, I'm going to arrest you. And it's just like, by the third time, he's finally sick of his shit showing up.
Yeah. Does he say arrest? I thought he said shoot.
No, I said he should have been like, I will shoot you. But he said...
I thought he did.
No, he said arrest.
Oh, he did say arrest. Okay, that's what... Okay.
I was like, he should have threatened to kill him because he's the dead guy. You know, he's the guy that sees dead people, so threatened to kill him. You know, I don't know. It's just, he has a funny relationship with death. But that was a long-winded tangent with no end. There was no point to it. Isn't that wild how you can do that?
I do that all the time.
It's kind of crazy. Like, I had one. I swear. There was a point to it.
Uh-huh. I know exactly.
I have no idea what it was, though. But it was a good one. I promise you.
You feel a little empty inside, don't you?
I do. Oh, I feel stupid. I feel real dumb. Like, hey, I just hijacked you for an entire 2 minutes. For no reason.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's how I walk around most of my life, most of my days. Like, I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just relayed a scene to you for no reason.
It's like our first episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One thing that's like, I don't know. I felt like this movie just kind of feels like every alternative fun movie of this time era, but it's not doing anything different, impressive, or big. But it's also, this movie's not bad by any means.
No, I mean, it's not taking a lot of risks, but we also have to keep in mind that you don't have to, but I think it's fair to do, is that this is a hero's origin story for what was possibly gonna be more of a franchise. Probably not. Let's be real, just because from our observations of the industry, this was been another Aragon. They would have seen that because this budget was $20 million and it made $1 million back.
Yeah, I wonder.
But there's no big studios like that. There's none of the notorious studios attached.
Yeah,
that do that. So maybe
what makes me wonder is with Steven Sommers. If he was like, I think he wanted to continue.
Oh, yeah, that dude will happily make shitty sequels.
100%.
Yeah, he's made quite a few.
Very much.
Yeah.
He's made money off.
Yeah, he's made his money. There's a fucking
he essentially was looking for his new Mummy franchise.
Yeah, and I would have been really about it. Do I think The Mummy Returns is good? No. But if it's on, I will watch it.
What about the third one?
Oh, The Emperor's Tomb with Jet Li? That one?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah, that one I can't sit through.
No, because they also recasted
Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, Rachel Weisz. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm like, kill the character. Like, I am
just write her off.
Yeah,
write her off.
Just kill the character.
Write them off.
Or they're fucking, she's the librarian and she's at the College of Oxford doing I don't know, make something up, but do not recast. Like, it drives me fucking nuts. It's like the Dark Man. Speaking of James. Like, oh, Liam Neeson to him? These two completely, utterly different people are the same character? Sure. Okay. I mean, I guess did they even write it into Darkman where he just uses a different face now because he doesn't have a face?
I don't know. I don't remember Darkman that well.
Fucking that'd have fixed it. Yeah, he looks different because he doesn't have a face and he wears a different face all the time.
Yeah.
There you go. But
franchise. Oh yeah, and Steven Sommers I feel like could in it, and I wouldn't be surprised if Anton Yelchin would have wanted to keep going with it. And I think since the biggest issue for this one was its like advertisement and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if Sommers would have like put money into doing one more with having it properly like released, and then maybe kind of have it feel like a reboot-ish, like sequel.
Yeah, like make this a prequel.
Yeah.
And then this is...
It's like you watch the next one and you're like, it can be its own standalone, but then the real fans know that the OG one, the first one, came out like 4 years ago.
Well, like in this world that they had created, leading, with the story, it leads us into Odd and Stormy always talked about eloping to Vegas, but he was too worried about it because Vegas is Sin City and there's a bunch of ghosts and bad guys, and he just was going to be a crime fighter is basically what he says. He's like, I'd be fighting bad guys 24/7. So it's like he's basically like, I would become a full-time vigilante as opposed to his more kind of casual side hustle that he does with it now. But this world we bet set with him, Anton, set in Las Vegas sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Him, Odd Thomas, being played by Anton in this Vegas world with the Vegas ghosts, and it sounds like it sounds like what Blade 3 was trying to do at the end of their movie at the casino with the werewolf. It actually sounds like a really fun time.
I'm going to pull this into a weird comparison. This is, in a way, Odd Thomas is the Dick Tracy of his universe.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you just agree with that.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're putting down.
Because everyone in this town, Pico Mundo, everyone knows who Odd is.
And he knows who everyone is.
And he knows who everyone is. And the detective or the police chief, whatever, is working with Odd and lets Odd be kind of like this private investigator type character. And knows he's really good.
Teaches him how to lie to the judge to not get in trouble.
It's kind of like this is Odd Thomas's world, and we're living in it.
Yeah,
and it's a tragic life for him.
Well, yeah, and it's that is a fun way to put it. This is just Odd's world. That is actually like that a lot. Just also for future observations when we do other reviews. That is an interesting way to look at it. It's like, this is this character's world, and we're all just living in it.
And on top of that, I will say Steven Sommers did a great job of capturing the spirit of who Odd Thomas is and making the movie have that container.
Yeah.
And that visceral feel.
Well, and then another thing, too, with this, and I was thinking about this afterwards and while we were watching it, it's like, it's the Futurama thing, where Futurama can really do whatever it wants in its episode because there is this, we should come up with a better term for it, but there is just this accepted reality because it is the future. And that's why it's Harry Potter. How can they do that? Magic. And you just go, okay. And Futurama, it's the future. And you go, okay. And it's ghosts. It's the, who's going to argue? You know what I mean? So you get this free reign to kind of do whatever you want.
There is a term for it. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it's essentially just like understanding the rules of the world.
Yeah. And it's like some of these certain genres, obviously the more all these are fantasy based at the, at the core, they're fantastical. And it is a really fun place to be in for your movie. And sometimes like Dylan Dog, since we did these two paranormal detectives back to back, Dylan Dog just felt like it felt stupid.
Yeah.
Like, my big.
It felt like it was trying.
Yeah, it didn't feel. It felt like it was trying. It felt like it was trying to wear a suit it didn't fit into. Mm-hmm. This is wearing the suit that is tailored to it.
Yeah,
and they were really.
And the suit's kind of fun.
Yeah, and it's like purple and has
a little eccentric,
pink stripes and it's little.
But it is very serious at the same time.
Yes, but the suit likes to eat its cake first.
And then the suit rips your heart out.
And then yes, or what are we at?
51.
Okay, we can start talking about it. And then it does the ingenious thing. I don't know if you all know, but the unofficial rule is your audience will always remember the last 10 minutes. So you want to nail your ending, whatever it is. That's really the part where you need to shine.
They call it the button.
The button. Is that what they call it?
The ending. Yeah, you want to have a button ending.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 minutes is more than just the button. Like the button is generally like the end.
The big.
But you want to button it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it nice and stuck.
And this movie pulls at your heartstrings like Brendan Fraser. I'm not trying to do the Mummy again, but Brendan Fraser in Scrubs.
Oh yeah, okay.
It comes out of kind of nowhere because they do a pretty good job of tricking you that she's okay. But she's not.
Where do you think you are?
Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute. Whoa. And I have to say that even knowing it coming, it still gave me like these little chills and just a little.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And because fucking Anton nailed it. Oh, and Willem Dafoe did too. The other two, not so much, as you pointed out. Yeah. And now that is glaring to me.
That's all I could stare at. I was like, they have no idea what they're doing in the
Jacob
scene.
had this point where we were watching it. It's stormy. Can we say it? I guess.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, and 5. Stormy. And this big plot that we're finding. Oh, and we'll pause on that because I did want to bring this up. The big plot that we're finding.
Oh yeah.
Is we didn't even talk.
The plot of the movie.
The plot of the movie. Wow. Don't worry. 50 minutes later, we got you. The plot of the movie is that with Odd's abilities, he's able to see these things called Bardock. No, Bodaks.
That's an actual term.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's another way of like calling like a boogeyman or a night spirit type thing. I think it's
a trickster or boogeyman figure often paired in the Gaelic. The Gaelic.
Gaelic?
Is that how you spell Gaelic? I thought Gaelic was with a G.
It is. I'm not looking at it. It might be Gaelic.
Well, it might. Well, yeah, Gaelic, hag or old woman in the Irish legend.
Yeah, Gaelic.
Yeah. So it is there you go. Gaelic folklore. A Bodak is okay. But yeah, so these Bodaks, which are trickster boogeyman figures in the actual term, but in this they are.
That's a good way to. That was a good use of the word for these.
Yeah, but they're like some kind of
spirit. They're spirits.
Gremlin from hell because they cause accidents and
they feed on
pain and suffering.
Thank you. Yeah.
But like, no, I just mean they're from this movie. The actual abilities they have seems to be able to cause.
They're from some type of underworld.
And cause like.
Yeah,
he gets that guy run over. He didn't jump behind the wheel, and
if a Bodak becomes aware that you can see it, it will kill you.
Yeah, but by accident. It's not like it's going to come up and.
Well, because they physically can't really hurt you.
Yeah, no. I'm asking you: is that what you also were getting to? Is that they cause?
Yeah, they'll cause
TV to fall, or
they'll cause a Jeep to
run you
over to at the end of your driveway. Too soon? Too close?
No.
Too on topic?
Two back to back. I mean, your last one was 15 minutes ago. Rule of 3, I guess. You got time for one more?
I would like to believe Anton, wherever he's at,
finds that funny.
He's just like, I like this kid.
But yeah, so this long story short, we just get to this point where this does make it feel a little dated. It is a group of Satanists that plan is to infiltrate a small town and kill it.
Yeah, it's pretty generic, really.
Yeah, it just the Satanist thing has been really done a lot now and forever.
It's really interesting that with POD that they have tattooed being Prince of Darkness, And POD is an actual like Christian term payable on death, which is like that's the term used for Jesus' crucifixion or something.
I mean, that might be the joke.
The joke?
Not the joke, but the point. Because a lot of the bad Satanism, in the sense of the villainy of it, is to advert Christ.
Yeah, okay, fair, yeah.
You know, the Antichrist, the cross upside down and all that kind of stuff. So to take a term that is a common Christian term and then change it.
We're taking it back.
For... Do you know what I almost just did?
Did you almost say it? Did you?
It got like from here to like
Randall,
here.
calm down.
I forgot what the joke was. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh yeah, I know what that is, and it was like a callback. I was just gonna like, oh
Wanda
yeah,
Sykes is gonna jump across this counter and choke you out. POD.
Oh yeah. So like it's this whole idea of just inverting on it, you know. So that kind of makes sense. I mean, I do think there are probably cooler Satanistic tattoos you can get than POD.
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean, say what you want about Satanists. They got a look, you know. they got a vibe.
There's a pretty cool one that's got 5 points to it. So.
Yeah, pretty standard. I mean, I guess I don't know.
I don't know. Pretty cool's all right.
I don't know. I also don't know if like for plot wise, if your cop is walking around with a pentagram. Upside down pentagram tattooed on his
forearm.
It's like you might want to.
It just depends which way you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, as your boss, you need to get that removed because I'm not. No, yeah. I don't need to get calls about this.
I'm not giving you a gun.
Yeah, like not doing it. But yeah, so it's this whole they're trying to wipe out this small town thing. But it starts with they're planning on a mass shooting at
Trigger.
Yeah, at a mall that they're then gonna blow up. I'm assuming to hide the evidence, right? I don't know.
I think just for more
really guarantee it.
Yeah.
All in the name of Satan. Hey, Satan.
Come on, guy.
Come here. And I do think I did say that to you too. I do think that the era of just casually having, because it's pretty casual for what this movie is. For the big end thing is going to be 800 people
casual,
killed,
like mass shooting
in a movie. Is that dated it too? Because you're like, they wouldn't do this anymore.
No,
this is too triggering for, you know, and
it's too much of a reality now.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not even the triggering. It's too much of a reality now just to casually put in your movie. Yeah. So that kind of like really glared out to me this time around.
And I mean, which is totally fair. Also, just like the lack of real motivation of your villains, other than just like they're Satanists and just want to cause destruction. You know, it's like, and there's no like build on like to why, what for, or anything. It really that's really one of the things that kind of like makes part of this movie feel shallow.
I mean, that could be, not excusing it, but I'm just wondering if that is a book detail that is missed.
It could be part of a bigger overarching story of the 8 books.
True.
You know,
because I mean, a lot of and again, I'm specifying too, like I'm saying the villainy of Satanism, because I know that there are practicing Satanists that don't necessarily maybe want to blow up buildings. But it's also like the villainy in movies with Satanism too is that I think that now as audiences, we are all just kind of coming to the understanding is they do it for Satan in the sense of sending the sinners to Satan so he has more people to torture.
It's like a very 80s thing, like, and there's a Satanist, woo! In the 80s, people are like, oh shit, don't play D&D.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, we'll just think of, you know, the Omen, Rosemary's Baby, you know, and then going into 80s culture, you know, Satanism is a very easy target to be your villain.
That's kind of like the tongue-in-cheek of this as well.
Kind of, yeah. But it's like, I really just think that this is kind of an eat the carrot moment, because Satanists want to send souls to Satan. That's, you know, that's why they want to do it. Some people just want to watch the world burn, you know, is kind of the idea.
Thank you, Michael Caine.
That'd be such a cool impression to get down.
Michael Caine?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it right now. I've worked on it, though.
Who are those two actors that did they're two English guys and they're doing back and forth about how to do the right Michael Caine? You ever seen that?
I have, yeah.
And you talk to your notes, and they're doing their different techniques, and they're both
a little bit in the front to the mouth.
It's weird. They're both of them are different,
but they're right.
They're right on at the same time.
I think what it is, like, if there's a young Michael Caine
and then an older Michael Caine. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, all in all, this movie's a fun ride. It has aged a little bit, but I mean, even the special effects I think are cool.
We didn't even get to why we went on this tangent. The ending, Stormy.
Oh. Put a button in it. So yes. So at the end of this movie, during this whole mass shooting event, nothing actually really does happen.
This guy has an assault rifle and he's just
doesn't
shoot in the air pretty much.
And I wonder if that was their...
Maybe that was the whole thing, was the distraction of the guns to then have the explosion happen. No, but wait, the whole thing is that they were in their uniforms underneath. So then they would look like heroes.
You had to infiltrate this town.
I guess they did reveal a little bit more of a moat of some type of...
Yeah, they did.
It just seemed very brushed over.
Because it was also during like a montage and Tom is just...
It's also a very rushed moment.
Exactly. And then Odd is just talking about it.
Yeah.
So it is kind of this...
It's because he's just piecing it all together right there. Now we have to we're like, okay.
No, this
Woo!
actually...
All right.
Talking about it now, this movie kind of reminds me of Horns with Daniel Radcliffe.
Interesting.
Very similar now.
I haven't seen it, but I'm just going to say interesting.
You should watch that. I think you get it's a fun Daniel Radcliffe one. It's weird. I
like his absurd shit.
It's very weird. You know, you're like, okay, sure. The book's really good.
And it's funny is like, I don't think if Daniel Radcliffe, I don't think he would in retrospect choose to be Harry Potter. I think because he likes doing weird stuff.
Yeah. Him and Robert Pattinson, I think, are more in tune.
Yeah.
Well, even Rupert has done some weird shit too.
Yeah, but he's probably done the most grounded.
From what I know of his career,
he's done the more grounded stuff. I mean, Emma's done the most grounded
by becoming just a normal human being and not worrying about this shit anymore.
Dating herself, yeah.
What?
No, she's like, I forget what it is.
I thought she was a rugby player or some shit.
No, she's like a complete self advocate of like being in a relationship with yourself.
So there's still a chance. Totally kidding. Kind of. Totally kidding.
Wouldn't say no.
But yeah, so this I wouldn't say no. This movie does that thing of where and that's the thing I'm having a hard time. I remember it tricking me really well. Now that I know the ending, obviously it doesn't trick me. Mm-hmm. So I feel weird saying this, but I think it does a pretty good job of distracting you enough to kind of forget that the possibility of her being shot. Then it cuts to Odd, who has been shot a couple times and is recovering. Him and Stormy are having this like staycation together and just spending time.
Never saying a word.
And then all of Odd's friends show up for like an intervention, and then you realize that Stormy has been dead this whole time and has just been giving Odd time to kind of come to terms with it.
And Willem Dafoe is like...
And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's
super heartbreaking.
It's so sweet and sad and wonderful. And Willem Dafoe and Anton really bring it home.
And Addison, I'll give it to her too.
Just my mean joke last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wasn't talking. No, but like they just like, yeah, there's the three of them. They're just nailing it, and just fucking Willem Dafoe. Just anything he's in is great. But like what we were talking about earlier is that there's the moment where Odd and Stormy are finally saying goodbye, and she's gonna do the ghost thing. She's gonna walk off and fade.
And the shot specifically is more of like kind of a
over Anton's shoulder.
It's like it's not a close up. It's almost a close up. I forget the name of the shot, but his face mainly in frame. But you can see over his shoulder and the other his three friends behind him and their reaction to it all as well, but a little bit more out of focus.
Yeah, and Willem Dafoe Porter is looking at Odd because they can't see ghosts, but the other two are looking at Stormy. So there's this like, hey, over here.
Yeah.
Like
it's like it makes me think of like when I was coaching high school theater and explaining to one of my students that the audience can see where your eyes are. They're like, no, they can't. It's too far away. I'm like, I'm telling you right now in the audience, I can see you staring at the ground and not your scene partner.
Because it's more than just the eyes; it's a whole body language.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was just oversight by whatever, I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things where you can clearly tell that these two actors have no idea what the fuck they're doing in the scene. Well, other than just like trying to be sad.
Well, it's like it's so fun when there's like a really simple moment that really kind of pops out to you too. Like even when Porter Dafoe asks Odd, like he realizes, because Odd has been in this kind of delusion. And so he's talking about Stormy, and then Porter for a second is having this like, oh shit, he snapped, like he's completely lost it. And then he looks at her, and Odd starts having this kind of breakdown, and that's when Porter realizes, oh shit, no, she's actually been here. And he asks her, is she here right now? And it's such a simple line, but Will delivers it in such a way that you're like, that right there, it's real.
It's because it's breaking he's like realizing, oh fuck, oh shit.
Yeah, but it's like just Willem Dafoe just blows my mind everything because he's been kind of goofy and funny this whole movie and not really doing anything. But then that moment right there, it's very Dafoe, and just his expression and the way he presents, like just that one line, you're like, he's like this is now Porter, who's completely blown away. And now kind of really believes Odd because he's always been kind of skeptical about his abilities and how he does it. Because, it's that whole thing, fear the unknown.
Oh, yeah. She told you what? Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
So he kind of has this brushing it off thing. But it's in this moment, too, seeing Odd's reaction to finally realizing that Stormy is dead and seeing like, oh, shit, that's why he didn't know. She's been here this whole time. And it's just, I don't know. I just thought it was a great moment.
But not talking for how many days? Weeks?
Yeah, but again, carrot, grief.
Yeah.
Because then the two...
He's in denial still.
But also he's clairvoyant, and he does communicate. He does say they don't speak, but he clearly communicates with ghosts, even without...
They find a way to communicate to him.
Via spiritually, some kind of connection. So you're just kind of like, whatever about it.
Yeah. It's a carrot swallow type thing.
Yeah.
But also that made me think of like earlier on in the movie really quick. One of those other moments where like, what the fuck is happening is when Odd shows up to Porter's house and all of a sudden he gives him the apron and the grill, the spatula. And all of a sudden now Odd is grilling instead of Porter. And you're like, and then it was just, what the fuck is happening?
No, it's the same thing as the milkshake thing in the diner. And I'm not realizing what it is.
It's the quirkiness.
It's the hot fuzz.
The hot fuzz. Okay.
It's the Shaun of the Dead. It's kind of actually I don't think it's a very kind of like English thing to do because Guy Ritchie
thing?
Huh?
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Guy Ritchie. I'm not realizing.
Edgar Wright did it. Scott Pilgrim, didn't he?
No, Edgar Wright wrote it.
He didn't direct it.
Did he? I can't remember now. Did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
I know he wrote it. Or
Yeah.
Did he also direct it? That would make sense though, because it's been playing at work, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it is Edgar Wright. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so it's like that Edgar Wright, Guy Ritchie thing, So it just Sommers just can't do it.
Yeah.
Great. I see it. Like give Odd Thomas to Edgar Wright. There you go. That'd be interesting. Redo the franchise. It'd be interesting to see what he would do with it.
I don't want them to.
I don't either. I don't really want them to. But if they were going to do it, I think Edgar Wright would be like one of the people to get his hands on.
Timothy Chalamet as him or something.
No. Jack Quaid if he was a little bit younger.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Right? That'd be right. That's a pretty good Odd Thomas, right?
Yeah.
I nailed that one.
Yeah.
I thought about that earlier. I mean, if you're gonna do any of these new guys, Tom Holland, but he's planning.
Is Tom Holland a new guy?
He's the what? No, I'm saying a new guy for Odd.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Obviously Tom Holland, but he's planning on retiring after having some babies or some shit. Isn't that nice? 23, whatever old he is.
He's like 28 now.
Is he?
25.
Yeah, I was like 28. That's pretty close to me. I don't think he's that old.
No.
What do you want to give it? Are we done?
I'm going to say 26.
26. Oh, damn.
Was I right earlier?
Yeah, he's 28.
All right.
He was born in 96. I didn't know that. I thought, okay, never mind. I take it back, Tom. Sorry. I got all Justin Bieber angry at you. Remember when that was the argument? People were like, he's only 14 and he didn't. It's like, well, you sing like a beautiful little angel and then you get the money.
Okay.
Sorry.
Man, this episode's been so many different places right now. I don't even know if I finished my thought with that whole Stormy death moment button. I mean, the end is him walking to Vegas.
Yeah, and then they set it up that he's going to go into Las Vegas.
Because that's what Stormy wanted them to do. She was like, let's just move to Vegas. And he's like, do you know how many evil people are in Vegas? Oh, boy. What do you want to give it?
A 3.
My brain keeps going back between 2.5 and a 3.
I think for what it is, especially because we were doing this paranormal detective thing, I think for what it is, and especially comparison to Dylan Dog,
Yeah.
And it's not like with Dylan Dog when we were, you made the Constantine comparison. Constantine,
That definitely felt a lot more like a Constantine knockoff than this.
yeah, but I just mean like, what my point of bringing that up is here's another, Constantine is another supernatural detective kind of thing, but very grounded, very serious. It's not really funny. It's very serious. This to me does a pretty good job enough of the trifecta of the 3 different elements combined.
It's fresh. It feels like a fresh take on
A dated thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And for being 10 years old.
When did Dean Koontz's release of the first of it come out?
2008.
Really? It was 2008? It was that quick.
I know, right?
Wow. Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Yeah, the series started in 2008, and then 3 years later, he gets a movie deal.
I mean,
God damn.
It's Dean Koontz.
Well, yeah, but I mean, someone just swooped in on that. It was like, quick, get these rights. Let's go.
It could have been actually part of the book deal in general. But yeah, I'll say 3. I'll go with that.
Yeah,
because of like the way it really, I feel like it knows what it is. It does kind of wear its welcome a little bit, but you kind of forgive it.
But by the time it starts to wear its welcome, you had just gotten used to it, and then it's over. But,
yeah.
And a 3, like a 3 is good, and I think this movie's
Yeah.
good. For what it is, if you're like...
There's definitely its shortcomings, and that's kind of the thing. It's like, I see why critics panned it.
Yes.
But there is enough charm where you can sometimes, overlook. Sometimes a messy structure is just fun.
Yeah, and I think it depends, too, on the subject matter.
The charm of something can make its messiness be acceptable.
Yeah, and I think that like something like this, you're talking about the undead and spirits and stuff, and it can be a little choppy and a little weird because it's also like our main character, he doesn't even know what the fuck is going on.
I feel like I'm justifying like someone with like a bad personality like cheating on me. It's like, yeah, but they're really charming.
Yeah. But it's like even like odd as like a character too doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's just kind of
figuring it out,
rolling with the punches, and just
I just tend to wander around and I find what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and there's this. It really did. It made me think of Uncharted, but supernatural.
Yeah,
his whole vibe. It's kind of like, think first, ask later. No, act first. What is it? Shoot first, ask questions later. But what's the? You know what I mean. Anyways,
ask for forgiveness later. Just that.
Sure. Hilsatan.
Heretic.
We watched that after this. That was an interesting choice.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring it up next week or something. I don't know. Yeah, 3.
All right. I'm down for that. A 3 out of 5. Sounds great. What are we doing next week? We don't know. We haven't discussed it. We got to do that. And
figure it out.
I'm going to do the Connect the Stars thing real quick. Yeah, I just realized what time it was.
Oh, yeah.
I got to start backing up here. Oh, here's fun. Cool. I like this one. Kristen Stewart to Dustin Hoffman.
One second, I got a lot to erase. Is it Kirsten Stewart or Kristen Stewart? Kristen
Stewart.
To Dustin Hoffman.
That's
Okay.
fun. But yeah, so that was episode 236 of Odd Thomas, which we gave a 3 out of 5. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. On there, you see all of our promos for what's coming up on the following week, every Friday. On there's our link tree. And on our link tree, you can find all the links to all the places that we put the podcast. So YouTube, Spotify.
Behind a tree. Buried in a graveyard.
Under your pillow.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
All right. Thanks for everybody. Thank you for listening. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Latest.
My ears are hot.